Okay, so I'm going to share a video today and talk about something that is really difficult for me to talk about. And because it's emotional, and anytime you get your emotions involved as a woman, especially, I think it's hard to articulate sometimes when you're full of emotions. So today is 4 years to the day that Tyler passed away. I was widowed. My husband had a very aggressive cancer that he fought very hard for to live. He had a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. It was called T-cell peripheral. It's very rare and it's very aggressive. And from the time he was diagnosed to the time he died was 17 months. He was in the hospital several times. He had stem cell bone marrow transplants twice that did not work, and his cancer spread. And today in a couple hours, my children and I will be going to the graveyard, the grave, and we then will go to dinner. Every year we go to a place that we go to, like Red Robin's, that was our thing, or Chili's, or we had these things that we did. And we're gonna do that. And that's kind of like what we do. And we go to the graveyard today and we will talk about being positive. I shouldn't say we don't talk about being positive. We talk about the good things and our memories. And today I could not fight these feelings that are in my heart and that you still feel. I think a lot of people think that, especially for me, I'm remarried. And I explain it like this. When you lose someone, I was married to Tyler for 19 years. And we certainly did not have the perfect marriage. I was strong-willed and Tyler was controlling, and I fought back. And then we had our times. But what we did have there was love. And because of Tyler, I believe I grew stronger as a person and as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, and I learned so much. And I learned how to deal with, difficult situations that I think we all feel sometimes in our marriages, and we grow from those experiences. And I want you to know that, like, death does not end. It wasn't a divorce. It wasn't anything like that. It was a death. It was me being widowed in my mid-40s with 2 children in high school and really struggling with going on and running my company and feeling that I was completely lost and feeling very vulnerable. And the guilt, oh my gosh, the guilt. Am I honoring him enough? Am I doing what he would want me to do? Why didn't I learn how to do these things? Why didn't I ask him certain questions before he passed away? Because I think we were in denial. And I want you to know that I know what it feels like to give up and to feel like your world is completely over. But I want to tell you something, because I remember when I announced I was getting remarried. That's another video. That's a whole nother video. But there are people that were like, nope, too soon. How dare you? How could you have loved your husband? How could you go on living? And I want you to know that I learned so much from that experience, and I grew so much because I listened to my heart, But I knew that Tyler had led this amazing man into our family and into our life. I knew it. It didn't take away my loss of Tyler. It didn't take away my pain. It did not take away my memories, the good and the bad. I think sometimes when we go through such extreme loss and pain, whether it's a spouse or a mother or father or a child, it is so personal and so deep, and grieving is truly something we have to go through. And I went through all those stages. I know what it's like to not want to get out of bed and to think, I'm done. I really felt that I could have been buried with Tyler because I was so sad. And I think sometimes people don't understand how you can love someone. I was with Tyler for 19 years. He had 2 boys when we got married. I had my 3 girls. I had been married when I was 19. And when we met, I think my divorce had been final in November, or maybe it was February. It was only like 2 or 3 months later I met him. I was not looking. And I met Tyler, and it was instant. I fell head over heels. And I know Tyler did too. A lot of people, when they talk about our relationship, they talk about like we were obsessed. And he really did. His love language was to baby me and to do things for me that honestly, like, that was his love language. And when I think about all that Tyler was, he served and he loved, and he was the biggest pain in my butt too. He taught me lessons on patience, because we had our struggles, you guys. Like, when you have an extreme type A controlling person, and I didn't want to be controlled. I had that with my dad, and we had our issues. We definitely did. But when we got married, Tyler said divorce is not an option. He was 8.5 years older than me, and he meant it. And so when we had some hard times, let's just talk about that. It was hard. But that doesn't stop. It never stopped me from loving him. And people ask me, how did you deal with, a more difficult personality sometimes? He was a doctor, and this is how we do things, and you're not. I don't even talk about certain things, because I know some of you will. I don't want you to. It was my life and my journey, and I grew from it, and I learned how to love, and I truly believe I was able to see him as God would want me to. And same thing, because I am certainly not perfect. I am not perfect, and I'm sure Tyler, if he was here today, he would tell you that. But we had 2 amazing, beautiful boys together, Tyler and Zach, and they're both in college right now, and they miss having their dad. And I remind them all the time, Dad is proud of you. You're so much like your dad, and different things, and I'm so grateful for that. But what I want to share is, I had some people, when I got remarried, they said to me, how can you get remarried? It's been less than a year, and they just couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it at first. Why did God lead this guy into my life? But this is what I want to tell you, and this is the truth. I have 5 children by birth, and now I have, with my bonus children from Tyler and my bonus children from Brian, that's 6 additional kids. That's 11 children. I want you to know that just as you love your kids, and you can have 1 kid and then you think, oh, I could never love my 2nd kid as much as I love my 1st. Well, I learned I loved Taylor, but when Gentry came, I loved her so much. And oh my goodness, now I have 2 children. And then I had McKay, my daughter, and my heart grew, and my love just expanded, and I could love her. And then I had my Zach, and then my Ty, and my love just kept growing and growing. And I'm so grateful to say that in my hardest times and being widowed, I still consider myself a single mother. Now, that's because when Brian and I got married, he had his children, I had mine, and they don't have a father. My mother, my father, I have no aunts or uncles. It's me. And those two boys only have a mom. Now, they have Brian as a great bonus dad, but when it comes down to it, I'm the one that's, taking care and making sure that things are happening. And I know that I'm trying to do the things that Tyler and I talked about together. So today we're going to the grave. And I want you to know that, first of all, I hope if you're watching this that you've never had to go through this. I know when I lost Tyler, I was grieving. I was not sleeping at night. I was looking for any source of hope of knowing that it was going to get better. I went on forums. I was reading books because I didn't know, there was no manual that when he died in the hospital that night, that they gave me a manual that said, oh, here's what you need to do now that you're a widow. Here's what you need to do now that you no longer have a husband to parent your children with. Here's how to, there wasn't any of that. So did I mess up? Absolutely. I have fallen, and then I've gotten back up. But I want you to know, I'm doing this video for those of you who felt loss, who maybe are going through it, have went through it, and I want you to know it's okay to feel how you feel. Today, it's okay that I feel sad. It's okay that I want others to know and my children to know that life goes on, and I know that we still are here and we need to have joy in every day. But it's okay to have days where our hearts are hurting and that we are missing someone. It's okay. And I'm in a parking lot. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have to go visit with Tyler today with my family. But guess what? It's an everyday for me. It's still in my heart because love does not end with death, and we can go on. And I promise you, your life will change and things will get better. But I promise you that it's okay. And I hope that I've shared just a little bit today of what I've went through, and that you can, if you've ever went through this or ever, I'm so sorry. If you know someone going through this, maybe in some way just be there for them. And thanks for watching.